Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of Mountain Beast Mysteries. Tonight I wanted to talk to you about one of the most controversial but most important pieces of Bigfoot evidence to ever turn up, and that is the Patterson Gimlin footage. Now, back in 1967, on the 20th of October, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin were on horseback in Northern California, and they were in an area called Bluff Creek, and they happened upon this creature, which was apparently about 7 feet tall, and they went after it. They got off their horses, and Roger chased after it with his 16mm film camera. I believe it was a Cinekodak K100, and he began rolling and captured one of the most amazing pieces of footage of this creature to ever exist. Now, I believe this is the best footage, hands down. You know, compared to even stuff that we have today with like higher resolution cameras and, you know, all the long zoom lenses, I think this footage still holds up. You know, it's not digitally created, it's on film, so that immediately rules out CGI or any kind of computer effects or modification. Now, to me, the creature does not look like a man in a suit. To me, it looks like an actual animal. Like, it looks thick, it looks massive, it's not like a baggy, loose-fitting costume. It's like there's muscles underneath it, and just the way it walks and its size compared to everything else is just absolutely phenomenal. There hasn't been any suit that's turned up, or any evidence of a suit ever being made, though there was a guy who claimed, I think back in 2002, that he created the suit and had it, you know, shipped to Patterson, and they used that in the film. But, you know, anybody could come out and make a claim like that. And there was also a guy, I think his name was Bob Hieronymus, who claimed to be the guy in the suit. And, you know, like I said, anybody could make a claim like that. And because there's no evidence of a costume or any kind of ape suit, I'm more inclined to believe that it's a real animal, just based on the size of it. I've always found the footage kind of eerie, you know, the way the SASQUATCH looks at the camera, and it just keeps walking. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's threatened, you know, it's not like scurrying away, it's just calm and confident, and it just walks off. Like, it knows we couldn't do anything to hurt it. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, they were armed, they had a rifle, didn't plan on shooting it, but, you know, I think it was just pure luck that they stumbled upon it. It does seem like kind of a coincidence, though, that they were out with the intentions of shooting a Bigfoot documentary. Roger was already big on the subject. He was very interested, and that's what they went out to do, was to shoot a documentary about Bigfoot. And as luck would have it, they stumbled upon one. You know, you don't see a lot of video today that shows the full body walking like that in such clarity. Like, I know the film is old and it looks grainy and the resolution is poor, but it's still pretty clear. Like, you can make out a lot of the details on the body. Like, it actually has breasts. You can tell it's a female because it has breasts, and, you know, you can see almost the muscles moving underneath the hair and the skin, and it just doesn't look like an ape suit. You know, the ape suits at the time, like in Planet of the Apes, were not nearly that good. And, you know, even the creator of those costumes for the Planet of the Apes films said, like, he didn't make that suit, and he claimed he was good, but he wasn't good enough, you know, to make a costume like that. And that was in, like, a big Hollywood movie with a big budget. So, to me, like, there's no way Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin could get a costume of that caliber. Like, we don't even have costumes that good today. I've seen a lot of ape costumes, and they look like crap. So, you know, it looks more realistic than the digitally created apes in the new Planet of the Apes movies. To me, anyways. I find this video very hard to brush aside, or to determine that it was fake and a hoax. Sometimes when you look at a piece of footage, you just know right away if it's fake or if it's real. And I knew the first time I saw the Patterson footage that it had to be a real animal. Out of all the videos to have been shot throughout the years, this is my favorite. It always will be. You know, they've had people in the area trying to kind of like reframe the shots and recreate them. And just by doing that, you can get a sense when looking at the footage how large this creature actually is. Like if you put a man standing in the same spot, this creature is clearly like at least 7 feet tall. It's massive, it's thick, it's super tall, and it just looks authentic. And people who believe it's a hoax, they say that there's like errors within the timeline of them taking the footage and what happened after and whatever. But how are they gonna know? Like, they weren't there. The only 2 people who were there were Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, so, you know, no one will ever know for sure what went on after. But all we have is their claims and this piece of footage, and there's nothing else like it. It's the definitive piece of evidence, and it always will be, and it's so old. It's like 50 years old now. When people think of Bigfoot, they think of this footage, and when people think of a hoax, they think of this footage. And there's so much controversy around it, maybe because it is such a good piece of video, that it's hard to take it seriously sometimes and use it as an actual piece of evidence, because, you know, there's so many people that believe it's a hoax and so many people that think it's real. And, you know, when I was talking to John Bindernagel at his house, he said to me that he totally just dismisses this footage nowadays and doesn't, you know, use it as a piece of evidence to support Bigfoot's existence. He just kind of let it go and ignores it because of all the controversy. So just look at the footage. You know, I have the full thing playing on here. The cool thing is that there's so much footage and, you know, stuff that happens before the actual Bigfoot shots, which make it seem even more authentic, because a lot of clips you find on the internet, the camera starts rolling as soon as the creature's found. Well, you can tell because it was a piece of film that they were filming for a while before, and it wasn't just, you know, one staged clip. The Bigfoot shots don't happen at the beginning of the roll. Hope you enjoyed this video. More Bigfoot stuff coming. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.